Yo, what it do, y'all? We back at it, man. And today is a very special day. First and foremost, shout out to the Hush family for always supporting the brand, always rocking with us, man. And this episode today is just years in the making. Time, a relationship that was built 20 something plus years ago, literally. And it's been running ever since. And it's a blessing to be sitting next to my brother, man. And today's episode is also dedicated to our brother Chuck, man. You know what I mean? Gone but not forgotten. I'm just saying it like that, man.
Word.
Definitely gone but not forgotten, man. And listen, man, I'm sitting next to the guy himself, man. I call him the Black. Y'all gonna laugh at this, man. The guy, man, the Black Ferris Bueller, man. That's who you are to me, brother. That's who you've always been to me, brother. And you know that, you know what I'm saying? It's funny because he was the kid that just everybody was just cool with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I watched you turn into that, bro. Just be that guy, bro. Just really honestly do it all with a straight face. And I salute you for that, man, because for me personally, man, I know you as UConn.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean? And UConn Ron, you know what I mean? 2001 is when it all started.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? This brother was there with me actually when I took a, you know what I mean, small little setback situation.
Yep.
And we still here now, man. And welcome to the round table, King.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. First and foremost, I just want to tell the people, you know, they may not know. And you got into it a little bit, but we've been rocking for a long time, man. A long time, bro. And we've been through a lot, ups and downs, whatever. We've been through it all, but I just want you to know that I have a high level of respect for you. I always have. And I love this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is dope.
Appreciate it.
I've even watched the progression of the Round Table podcast, and it's dope.
Appreciate
So
you,
I'm
brother.
proud of
Thank
you.
you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, it was a no-brainer, man.
I counted that as an honor to be here.
I count it as a blessing because you know what, man? We both blessed to be sitting next to each other.
No doubt.
Truthfully.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And I watched you grow, man, into the man you are today, man. And I honestly, brother, it's amazing to see you, man. It's amazing to be in your presence, man. I always admired you as well because you always did it with a smile. And if it was ever some nonsense, brother, I never saw it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we gotta look good on stage, but backstage, we probably throwing chairs, man. We probably going ape shit and yelling and cursing all types of MFs. But yo, my man, that's what makes you great, brother. You know what I'm saying? Your energy, your aura. You know what I'm saying? And to see my brother not just be a Bergen County legend, but a global legend. You're a legend, bro.
I appreciate that.
I real talk. You an icon figure, man. You know what I mean? For
that.
our culture, man. You put on for us too. And we appreciate that, man. My biggest question about all this shit is, what the hell does Ron do? Like, yo, I know you was drumming in the church. It's like, yo, I never knew what the UConn did, man.
So it's been a long going joke amongst my friends because it was always, you know, people call me Tommy from Martin.
Yes.
They think I have a job. I might have a job, but they don't know for sure what I do. So let me get into it. You know, as you said, I'm a musician in church. I started as a musician in church, and when I was probably 13, 14, Kid Capri moved on my block, and when he moved on my block on Franklin in Inglewood.
Yes.
When he moved on my block, he was just a cool dude up the block. Like, you know, celebrity, yeah, but like, I didn't even know the depths of who Kid Capri was. So we would just kick it, you know, we riding the dirt bikes up and down the block, all types of stuff. He just up and down the block with us. You know, he just was the cool dude. He took me on the road at 14, but as a musician. So I started out in music as a musician. But again, that started out in church. I started playing in church first. And as a musician, from being a musician, that kind of, so my job with Kid Capri was to recreate samples. Is at a time when music was sample heavy.
Right.
And instead of paying for the sample clearance, we would recreate it, reconfigure it, and maybe change some sounds, and then it would change from a clearance of a sample to an interpolation, which would give us leverage to be able to maintain ownership of the track a
Right,
little
without
better
having to pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I got my start. From there, I started playing for different artists and working with different artists, touring with different artists as well. And from there, I started to see you know what happened? I was watching something and some of my musician friends were on stage with somebody, with an artist. I don't want to call no names.
Right, right.
But they looked old, right? And I was like, oh man, one day I'm gonna look old. So I don't want to put all my eggs in the musician basket. I need to figure out what else I could do with entertainment. I like doing shows, so I wanted to do something involving shows. So I ended up, at that point, I was probably early 20s or something like that, mid 20s. I ended up then doing like working with shows. So from the ground up, I was a production assistant. I was you know what I'm saying? Like I was a talent wrangler, all types of stuff.
Just
on the way up. Yeah. So now when you see me, because I've worn so many hats and I've played from the ground up, I could be doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So what people see me doing is an ongoing joke now on social
bodyguard.
media. They think
You
I'm
bodyguard
security
now.
out there. They
You
think
like,
I'm
you know what I mean? You bodyguard now.
But I'm a so when people see me moving artists around and stuff like that, that's a stage manager. And my job in those moments is to make sure the artists get to the stage, make sure everything on the stage is situated for the actual performance or whatever that is. So I could be a stage manager, I could be a production manager at times, I could be a tour manager at times.
A musician.
A little bit of everything.
You know what I mean? And that's crazy that you understood that at that time when you saw it, because some people get so caught up with just wanting to be on the stage.
Yeah.
Or wanting to be that artist, and you was like, nah, I kind of want to be able to not be seen, but be able to move in silence. You know what I mean?
So I've always thought about the long game, and you know, as a musician, I've learned now that you can have a career as a musician for a long time, but
playing instruments?
Playing an instrument, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is that if an artist decides I don't want to tour no more, right? Say you locked in with an artist and the artist just literally wakes up one day and decides, I don't feel like touring no more. What you do?
Wow.
Unless you could lock in with another artist right away, which is, you know, every artist usually has their teams of people, or, you know, it's a little hard to jump from one artist to the next in just a blink. You know what I'm saying? So
you just got to be that nice.
It's not even that. It's the spot available?
That's true too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what if your artists are touring at the same time? Like, say you are, you know, you are with Cardi B, who's about to go out, but then you're also with Mariah the Scientist, who's about to go out. Then what?
Can't be at two places
Can't be at two places at one time.
I understand your logic.
So it's kind of hard to, like, you know, there's a loyalty to a crew, a touring crew, whereas like they don't want to keep switching people. So you're either with us or you're not. So all right, I'm glad I said Cardi B. Cardi B's pregnant now.
Perfect situation.
Right? Now, say you're locked in for Cardi's tour, which is I think 3 months, a 3-month tour, right?
Right.
But Cardi decides midway, like, yo, I can't do it. I want to be a mom. Like, I just want to focus on my pregnancy. Or what if health doesn't even allow her to
even
continue?
Go. Right.
Right? In your mind, your work is set for the next 3 months, but yo, you can't do nothing. If she don't perform, you don't work.
That's a fact. And
You know
then then it's hard to pivot because you want to stand still.
Yeah. So it's a little easier to pivot in my shoes as a dude who has a lot of different things that I can offer as opposed to just being behind the keyboard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for pivoting purposes and for the longevity of work and everything, that's why I decided to, kind of dive into other areas of the field.
Which was genius of you too, because you understood the game. You know what I mean? Now, you seeing all this at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from Inglewood, church-going family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How was your moms and them seeing through this lens with you? Because sometimes our parents are old school. We got old school parents.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I mean?
So surprisingly, it's crazy you ask that because that's something people ask me all the time, and my parents were wild cool. My first tour with Kid Capri, like I remember speaking to him, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to." I'll never forget it. It was like, you available to go to Boston this weekend? I'm like, Boston? It went from Boston to a whole, you know what I'm saying? Like
a whole
like
run.
years of going on the road with him. But the first stop was Boston that we went on. He was like, yo, you want to go to Boston? I was like, yo, you probably got to talk to my moms.
That's what I'm saying.
I was a little boy, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, I'm down. Like, let me know. I went home, I told my mother. My mother was like, all right, have him come up the block. My mother cooked ziti and chicken. And her and my pop sat down at the table with Kid, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna take care of him, I'm gonna make sure he's good. Like, I'm gonna treat him like my little brother, and it's literally been that. Like, his whole team treated me like that. And them knowing that I had a community of guys that was kind of, going to look out for me, they were good on that front. But the other thing was they wasn't tripping about it being hip hop. They wasn't tripping about it being non-church music, non-gospel music. So they were cool on that front.
That's the blessing though, because sometimes
They
a lot
were
of
cool.
our
Yeah.
parents we grow up in these Christian homes,
Yeah.
and they just be stuck. And I knew that personally because I saw that my parents was cool like that too, but you just had to go to church.
Yeah, right.
That's all it was. You do
That's literally what it was. It was like,
do
all
what you
right,
wanna
you
do.
go do whatever.
Sunday?
You're going to be in church on Sunday
That's
for
it.
sure.
You know what I mean? And that was the reality of it all. You know what
Word,
I mean?
yep.
They kind of let it go, man. And
Yeah.
now let me ask you this though: you think that was like sort of like your sign from God? Because if he wouldn't have moved on that street, how did that? You know what I mean? How would that relationship even occur at the? You know what I mean? That it may occurred in a different manner,
Right.
But I feel like it being on your block on Franklin, it made it more nourishing. That's why your parents were so accepting because he's down the street.
I agree.
He's not somebody in New York or you know what I
that's
mean.
a valid
He's literally down the street.
That's a valid point, and I didn't think of it that way, but them being able to know he's down the block. So if I was down there in the studio, whatever, or whatever I was doing, like he was accessible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not only that, they saw him move. They saw him moving up and down the street for like a year or so before I even locked in with him. You know what I'm saying? So they know he wasn't down there wilding. They know he wasn't down there having crazy parties and no police activity down there.
Right. It wasn't no nigga shit going on.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean?
so they yeah, for sure. That definitely helped. That's a valid point.
Yeah, because you know what I mean? I mean, think about it. You a parent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about your perspective now. You know what I'm saying? As a parent, like, that gives me a little bit more security knowing I can walk 5 houses and knock on this man's door.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For
and
sure.
I don't have to go around the world looking for him. You know what I mean?
And keep in mind, that wasn't at a time when it was like we was accessible, like,
With cell phones
It
like
was
that.
no cell phones. There was no tags where we could put on our kids.
Right.
Know where we at. All that. It wasn't that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You're right.
So you leap off to that. That takes you around the world and back. You're still growing as a person. You know what I mean? You're maturing. You're coming back home. You're partying. But you're also building relationships.
Right.
That's one thing I can always say about you from the first time I ever use a relationship. Our relationship was built off T.O., God bless.
Word up.
That's how we knew each other, but we wouldn't have never hung out if it wasn't for T.O.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, we may have hung out another way, but that was indeed the
the
introduction
root.
to us, and
That was
the root, for
kind of
sure.
like, you know, if you're
Yeah.
building a garden, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Put him, that's Shahi in the
Yeah,
garden,
yeah.
and we gonna grow together. You know what I mean?
Word.
And that's what we was doing.
Yep,
Because
yep.
that's how with the Eddie, you know what I'm saying? All of y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
When I, you know what I mean? This is 2001 when I first came home. I'm
Yeah,
like, yo.
yeah.
And I'm running with y'all, and we're having a time of our lives.
Right,
But I
right.
noticed during all that running, you always was networking.
Yeah.
You always was politicking. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like relationships is your strongest commodity, man. Like, relationships are more important than money, more important than anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can have 20% of the talent, but I have all the relationships in the world, and still make it happen without having degrees, without having the money, without having whatever. Relationship mean everything to me.
But you knew that back then, though. You knew that 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably 20 plus years further than that. But you knew the key of, yo, I need to always, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep a straight face, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Especially in this game, in the industry that you played in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something my pops taught me. You know what I'm saying? Like, always be impeccable with your word, always, you know, deal with people in a way. And even Kid Capri. All right, so I spent it, like you said, I was around you and Top and Cash and Scotty Wop, God bless, you know, Bernard, Darrell, a bunch of us, right? But all the guys around me, I was smart enough to take heed to what the guys around me were showing me and telling me, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I started the whole thing off with like acknowledging who you are to me and showing you your respect, because I don't even think you know, like, that the people around me molded me into being who I am right now. So yeah, it was important to be important, like, you know, be impeccable with your word and stand on what you say and deal with people a certain way. And I've learned from the good and the bad from the people I'm around. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I've been able to see people mess up, and I've seen people do amazing too. So I've just been able to pick apart what part I want to be and what I can do and how I can use and utilize what I've learned from the people I've been around.
Yeah, that's a blessing, you know what I mean? I think also for you, King, you having two solid parents plays a big part.
Yeah.
You know, we both come from two-parent homes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where you see love in home.
No doubt.
You see the support of mom, and you see the dad supporting mom, and having a sister, like, and having a backyard and having a home. Because a lot of our brothers didn't have that.
Yeah.
Didn't have two parents, and we watched their parents turn miracles. So I also, all that is rooted in you, kid.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it shows, because where you at today, man. You know what I mean? Your journey, your story, man. You legendary, champ. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I appreciate that.
And
It means a lot.
you never stop. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I admire, and that's one thing I've always taken from you. Yo, my man stays active, but in a way where it's not messy.
Yeah.
You got cast as active, but it's like, man, I'm not going over there. We ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We ain't doing that. That's
Right.
my dude, but I got love him from all the way down the
Yeah,
block.
yeah,
You
no
know what I mean? Yo, you can know when you get up close and personal what it is, man.
Yeah.
What made you get into the party life, man? Throwing parties, because we were partying.
Yeah, we were partying. So as you know, cause you was there, right? We was outside. I was off the porch super duper early, and y'all guys had me in parties pretty early on, right? So I was exposed to party life, right? I was around Kid Capri, who exposed me to party life, right? And at one time, some of my friends was like, yo, you know everybody, bro. Why you don't do parties? My man SP, he was like, yo, you don't want to do parties? I'm like, not really, right? Then, you know, I kind of dabbled, and we started to do certain things. We would do cookouts, and we would do, you know, smaller parties, and then
Just to see.
yeah. Then I just was like, yo, you know what? This might be a moneymaker, you know? And then I went from doing parties, I think my first like really set of club parties was at Tribeca in Fort Lee. Yeah, First Lady L and Gino Green and Coop. And yo, we started to do that joint on Thursdays and it took off. And then from there, you know, I've always been ambitious. So it's like, if I can figure out how to make this pop, what's my next step? Like, how do I make this grow? How do I, you know? So I linked with Lenny the Barber, who was a person who I you know, in my younger years, I was going to his parties with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I linked with Lenny on a couple of things. And honestly, we started rocking because of shows first. And then it kind of morphed into us doing parties together. And he taught me a lot of game on a bigger scale of what I was thinking at the time. And that's kind of how it happened. You know what I'm saying? And then I've always been a person that would think of how I could bring something to the table. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just take. I was trying to figure out how I could bring some value to what Lenny was doing. And he poured into me on the party side, and the rest is history on the party side. We're still, you know, still rocking. We got some stuff coming up.
You're doing bigger and better things too. It's not just parties. You're doing galas. You're getting suited up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Watching y'all get suited up is so fire, dope, and everybody being excited about it.
Yeah.
That's fire. That's a sign of maturity.
Yeah, I need you to put your suit on this year though.
Yeah. Facts.
I need you to put your suit on this year. That's January 17th.
Facts.
I'm glad you said that. I need you to put your suit on. I need my big brother in there with his suit on, man.
Facts. You got that one on, too. Yeah, facts, though. But you're right, though. You know what I mean? I've been on a hiatus for a minute.
Yeah,
man,
I know you don't really do the party thing as much anymore.
But definitely with the suit, you know what I mean? It's, you know, honestly speaking, brother, it's a blessing to be in that element, though. And I definitely need to come out because to see us around that, it's just... It's a beautiful atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's different when you see it on the gram, but when you see it there in the building,
yeah,
it's you valid for that, and I respect that, man. Let me ask you this though, man. What was your biggest flop party?
Ooh.
Because that comes with the game.
It definitely does.
I need everybody to understand it's not always gonna be just we killed them. We got killed.
You ain't lying. So look, my first club party, right, I did with my homegirl, Aisha Fulmore, good friend of mine, right? We always was on some like, yo, let's figure out how to get some money. I knew I had the Kid Capri relationships. She had a club relationship. And I booked Kid Capri. You know, we acted like we knew what we were doing, went into this whole thing, man. Yo, it was maybe 2 people in there. 2. And in that party, I had to, we had expenses at the end of the night. So it was like, you know, we just had to figure that out, man. And we were young, man. I don't even think we were supposed to be in the clubs yet. And that was one of them times I was like, I don't know if parties this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
That was the moment.
Yeah, but I had plenty of flops. I had flops later on too. When I knew what I was doing, I had flops. You know what I'm saying?
That comes with the game. This is just me speculating. I believe it comes with anything.
Yeah, wins and losses. I'm sure you have some episodes where you be like, yo, I know this joint is gonna do crazy numbers, and then you look at it, you be like, yo,
Doug Flutie. It's a Doug Flutie. It's the Hail Mary, man. It was the Hail Mary that only happened once.
Like,
you know what I mean? He goes to the league and he becomes the bust. So it happens.
Yeah, no doubt.
Definitely, you know what I mean?
It happens.
It happens,
no
man,
doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
But you learn from it.
Yeah, you do.
And you keep pivoting. And that's one thing you always kept doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's not really a loss when you can learn.
It's a lesson.
It's a lesson. And even though it might be an expensive lesson,
yo,
it's a lesson. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, that's life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's life, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
My thing about it though, man, when I watch the growth of, you know, the parties, the level, I also watch the different people. It's like, yo, my man is one thing that I had to respect, it's crazy because me and Wap talked about this, and I gotta say this. We was at a party, and I said, yo, we looked around, and Wap said, yo, one thing for sure and two things for certain, UConn know how to bring them out. And I looked at him, and yo, it was so crazy because only me and him could have that conversation.
No doubt, no
for him
doubt.
to say UConn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just me and him. And I just looked and I said, yo, goddamn. He said, yo, I love it. And you know how, yo, come on, baby, let's go. Come on, baby, I'll be round now. UConn got him out. And yo, it was so, it's like, bro, moments like that to be sitting here and we talking about it. And then, you know, with WAP being gone, it's like it's so monumental and key to us. You know what I mean? Like everybody, you know, we got our other cliques, our other crews. Our A1s, but all, it's like our circle is still, it's still there, it's still in the middle. I believe our circle is the core. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know what I mean? And to sit back and see that, it's like, yo, it's crazy because we just keep watching. Why did you decide to start doing the gala thing, man?
So, I'm glad you asked. It's the Black Hollywood Gala, right? And I think, it's crazy you asked this. I think Hollywood is a mindset.
It is.
And you know where I learned that from?
Gotta be.
Yo.
I mean, I ain't want to say
it. Yo. So for everybody watching, the older dudes that I was always around showed me that Hollywood is a mindset. And you know, we would be outside all day doing what we do, and we would go to the mall or figure out how we gonna get fly.
Or change 2 times a day.
As you see, they still getting fly, right? Right? We would figure out how we gonna get fly, what we gonna do, right? And then we would go out and be Hollywood, man. And that taught me that Hollywood is a mindset. And you could be, don't matter where you're from, it don't matter how many degrees you got. There might be one dude with us that have $100, and there might be one dude with us that got $3,000.
And it might be one dude that might be cracked on that night.
I mean, dead pop, but you would never know. You would never know. You would never know. And the crew kept it that way, and we was still all fly. We still made sure our man was good.
Right.
We still
You
made
didn't
sure.
go without.
It wasn't no looking at us and saying like, yeah, he's the broke one.
Right.
It was never that. It was like, you know what I'm saying? So I learned that Hollywood is a mindset from my older guys that I was around, right? And I think I strategically planned it for Martin Luther King weekend because that's black. You know what I'm saying? That's a black holiday. It's either gonna be always either Martin Luther King weekend or sometime during Black History Month. Always. It's always gonna be
represent our culture.
Right? Because culturally, it's about making a statement, and it's about having a time to get our grown men on and really show, like, you know, we could do that. We could go stand on the couch. We could go pop bottles and go crazy that way.
Right.
But we can also put these tuxedos on, put our suits on to clean up and be fly in a whole different way. You know what I'm saying? This year I'm putting a spin on it, and I'm honoring some people from the community. And just different people I know that's, you know, black people doing positive things.
Always figuring out how to take it to the next level. You always.
That's always
you probably thinking about next year's gala already and how that's already going to play out.
I am. It's always a method to how we gonna get to what's next. Every single time. I might be in the moment, right then and there, but my mind is always like, all right, yo, next year, it's gonna be, we're gonna do this, we're gonna put this there, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? So this year we honoring some people. I'm gonna be making those announcements in the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm also gonna highlight some black businesses. So I'm definitely gonna highlight this podcast.
Appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Hollywood was one thing for us then, And even though we still got our ways about how we want to dress and how we want to look and everything, Hollywood is a different thing, you know, as we mature and as we grow, we don't lose our fly stuff, but we want to get into, you know, our businesses and, you know, what we doing with our families and how can we empower the community and those types of things. So that's what we doing. January 17th, man. I need you there.
I definitely would be in the building for sure
Yeah.
for that, man. You said something very critical, man. You said something about, you know, community. Yo, how has fatherhood changed, Ron?
Fatherhood has been the most craziest ride I could ever imagine. And fatherhood is a roller coaster for everybody who, you know, real parents, you know, real parents watching, like y'all know, you can have the most amazing day and then you can have the worst day ever. And it's always because of how much you love and how much your emotion is involved and how much, like, you don't love nothing like your kid. There's nothing in the world you love more than your kid. So it has the ability to impact the things surrounding your kid, have the ability to impact you positively or negatively. So you could, again, you can have the best day ever, and it be something light, man. Have a little argument with my daughter, my whole day might be messed up behind that. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you, it'd be like,
Chief.
and I had an argument, right? And
You said your daughter.
yeah,
You got one.
One.
So I'm dealing with 7.
yeah.
So my roller coaster ride is totally different.
Yeah.
I'm on a train.
That's a real roller coaster.
I'm on a convertible train.
Yeah, no doubt.
So it comes from all angles. So, bro, I definitely, that's why I asked you that.
But there's nothing in the world more rewarding than fatherhood for me.
Facts.
There's nothing in the world more rewarding. My daughter is in her 4th year at Clark Atlanta.
Congratulations.
Her senior year. And of all the things I've done and accomplished,
That's your biggest?
this is it's nothing has made me more prouder. Nothing has been more fulfilling. I'm gonna keep it funky. When I was sick, man, I was in really bad shape. Really bad shape. And I remember praying like, yo, I just want to be here to see and to be a part of raising her and be a part of making sure she was good. I could have passed away. Insurance policy would have kicked in. She would have been financially good. She'd have been fine.
That ain't
but
what, that's
that
not,
ain't. It's more than that though.
way
You know what
more
I'm
than
saying?
that.
So I wanted to be present for things like this. You know what I'm saying? Like
To take them to college.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see her walk across the yard. You know what I'm saying? I want to throw her a party when she graduates. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
I want to celebrate her.
I was blessed to witness that.
I want to have her set up so she can win. You know what I'm saying?
Well, truthfully, brother, the road that y'all on now is you know, the path and the journey that y'all been on, man, has been amazing. So,
Thank
you know
you.
what I mean?
Thank
Continue
you.
to just keep going, man. And
Thank you.
it's funny, man, you know, a couple years ago, she was with my son and I saw him chilling and I just laughed. And I just was like, yo, life cycles. You don't even realize that shit.
Us all over again.
20-something years later, it's just literally repeating itself. And you gotta love it and you gotta embrace it.
Yeah.
Like, you know
no
what,
doubt.
yo, we you know, and it also gives you a sense of, yo, that's my dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, that's my dog. Yo, it's only like, it's like you automatically, that wing, that cover, that community.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And
No doubt.
that's the blessing, man. And
For sure.
if you don't mind, let's talk about the journey, man, you went through with that time, man, when you got a little ill, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to get in depth.
Nah, I don't mind
know
that.
what I mean?
I don't mind that.
Because, man, your journey, man, is there a documentary coming or something, man? Because,
Yeah.
man,
So I spoke to a couple of people about a documentary. I may be working on that in the future about the documentary. I'm gonna keep it funky. I had to take a moment to come out of that, to have clear head, to be able to even sort through that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you when I walked in here, it's my fault that we didn't have this sit down a long time ago. And it's because I literally was in a space of like, I'm not ready to talk. People, I deal with a lot of things that people don't even know still to this day, right? So if anyone hears me stutter or anything like that, I got speech impediments from from being in the bed for too long, from being heavily medicated, all that stuff that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready to even.
You may not even want to go back to that time.
I wasn't even ready to be in front of nobody's camera and let them see me speak like that, or even down to brain fog where my thoughts get jumbled at times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had that. It's better, and it's not 100%, but it's better, right? But I had it real bad to the point where we'd be talking, and I'll be talking about one thing, and then before you know it, I'll be talking about your sneakers. And you be sitting there like, cause you my man, you be like, I don't know, maybe he's bugging a little bit. Like, you might not judge me, but in your mind, you're gonna be like,
I'm gonna go back to it later on. Like, what happened?
What's up with Ron? He's tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So I was scared. I was scared to sit in front of the camera. I didn't want y'all to have to edit. You know what I'm saying? You my man, so I don't think you will put out anything.
I'm not. You gonna see it before it hits the bricks anyway.
I don't think you will put out anything that would have me looking crazy, but I also ain't want to waste your time and your money. I know you put money in, things into your production, so I didn't want to sit down with you until I knew I was ready to at least have a decent conversation.
Yo, and truthfully, it's all about God's time. And when you told me that, you see, I never was like, yo.
Yeah, nah, you wasn't.
It was always, yo.
You ain't never wild on me or nothing.
It was
never personal. Bro. It was never like, I never saw you and your energy was off or different or none of that.
You know what I'm saying?
So I appreciate you for even.
I couldn't. You know what I mean?
And this is my first time. So just so y'all know, this is my first time explaining to him why I couldn't sit down with him. You know what I'm saying? When we would speak, when he first had the podcast, naturally as friends, it just makes sense for us to sit down, right? But every time the conversation came up, I kind of danced around it because again, I wasn't scared. I was afraid to even expose that I was having weakness in certain areas mentally. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so back to what you were saying about the journey. I was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer.
Hold on, before you get into that,
okay.
I need everybody to understand. Y'all gotta realize something. It was never no malice behind that. This is my brother.
Yeah, nah.
You know what I mean?
It was. I never felt no way.
It was never.
It was never when we see each other.
Right.
It was
never
no
awkward moment.
It was never awkward. It was always the same.
I need everybody to understand that.
Always the same.
I'm not the brother. People get. I do what I do, but I don't need people to feel like if I holler at you and you say, "Nah, I'm not ready." Let's continue to keep rocking because I don't want you to feel like you got to run from me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, here comes Shy. He going, nah, that's not what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I thank you. I never.
And he
took
never
it that
made
way.
me feel like I had to run from him either. It was never no pressure.
Right.
It was always like, a conversation and then not yet or, whatever.
It was what it was.
But it never, again, like you said, it was never an argument, it was never disagreement, it was never a time where we was ducking each other or feeling like energy was all, it was never that. So I appreciate you for, just being solid on that side too.
Yeah.
So I was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer in 2019. It's called mycosis fungoides. And for the people that on social media and everything, they see my skin peeling. It caused my skin to peel. I went through an extensive time of itching and skin breaking and lesions and tumors and all types of stuff, like skin tumors. So your skin is an organ. So you can get a tumor in your skin. I went through all that stuff. Towards the end of 2019, the church did a benefit for me. My friends actually did a benefit for me, like partner with the church, and that was November 4th, right? And by that weekend I was back in the hospital, and that weekend I went into the hospital, and I didn't come out of the hospital until February 13th.
Wow.
From November 4th. During that time, I think I was probably 120 pounds. I spent some time in a coma. I spent some time in ICU. I definitely coded a couple of times. There's some things within the journey that people don't even know, and I'm careful now about how I post and what I post, because some people can't stomach even seeing how bad things got. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
especially if they have that relationship with you.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's hurt. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I already know.
You know what I mean?
I already know. So I'm careful about that, but there may be a documentary. I've been in talks with a couple of people about the whole thing, because sometimes what people may not realize is that I was misdiagnosed for a couple of years. I was starting to see spots on my skin in 2015. I wasn't properly diagnosed until 2019. You know what I'm saying? And you go to a doctor, you go to a dermatologist, they'll tell you it's eczema. They'll tell you it's psoriasis or something with your skin. But until you get the proper test, they won't know what's what.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was misdiagnosed. Finally, I was diagnosed the right thing, and
God stepped in.
thank God, because towards the end of the year, things were so bad that if they had been treating me for eczema or something, or the wrong thing still, I might not have made it. So I went through a lot of different types of treatments. I went through radiation and all types of stuff, but ultimately I ended up on chemo. And while chemo is the worst thing I ever experienced, probably. If you know somebody fighting cancer and they have chemo is the worst thing you can, like, it's tough on your body, it's tough on your mind.
Mentally is.
People don't talk about the mental part of it. It's tough, because on one hand, you're going into, like, you're voluntarily going to a facility to be treated, right? And on one hand, they're telling you this thing is going to save your life, it's going to help you, it's going to make you feel better. When you leave there, you leave feeling like trash. You don't have no energy, you don't have no appetite. There was a time I was doing chemo every week, and I literally was going to the cancer center on Monday, right? My chemo day was like this. I would go in at 8:30 a.m. I would go in, and I had to go to the lab first, right? I still got my ports, right? Go into the lab, they access your port. Once they access your port, they take blood. This is also the access point where they administer the chemo drug. They take your blood, you sit, you wait while they test your blood, you go see your doctor. Your doctor either approves or disapproves your chemo for the day, because you gotta be physically able to do chemo.
Okay.
Your numbers gotta be good in all areas so you could do chemo. Like, it was times I went in there and I had low blood count, so they had to send me to the hospital. I had to get blood transfusion.
God.
Right? Or there was days I go in there and something else would be off, and they had to address that first before I could have chemo. So you have you get your blood test, go see your doctor. Your doctor tells you, hey, all right, cool, you're good to go. You go back to the lab. When you go back to the lab, I would have to have an hour pre-medication. I would have so I would have a total of 2 hours of 2 different pre-medication. So one is like the drip.
Right.
So it was 1 hour one thing, 1 hour of another thing, and then I would have 4 hours of chemo. And then they deaccess your port, and then you go home. My chemo days would start at 8:30. I probably wouldn't get out till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
My God.
Now, that's Monday. Now Tuesday,
Doing a bid.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm done. I don't have no energy to do anything. I don't have an appetite, so I can't eat. So I'm in the bed those 3 days.
How are you mentally?
Mentally, again, you thinking, yo, this is supposed to help me. It feel like it's killing me. That's why I say chemo is the worst thing, man. Because the mental toll it takes is crazy. It's like,
Fuck this shit. Is it worth it? You start questioning the procedures.
this is why a lot of people take their chances. They be like, yo, I'm gonna just take my chances. Because once you realize like all you gotta go through to fight, I understand why people take their chances, or they go holistic routes, or they try to go, about it a different way, because it's a lot. And you will really believe, yo, I'm going in here and I'm letting these people kill me every week. So now by Thursday, by the time I can eat, right? Maybe Thursday night, I start eating a little bit. Friday, I'm finally maybe eating a full meal. From Monday.
Because now we approaching Monday.
From the last Monday. So I started on Monday.
Right.
I'm down for a couple of days. Thursday, I start to nibble a little bit. Friday, I eat my first full meal. Saturday, I'm eating crazy because I ain't eat all week.
Right.
Sunday happens, I'm in church. Monday, I'm right back at it again.
That's what I'm saying. Now we right back to Monday again to do the same thing over. You got to do this every week.
I did this for weeks at a time.
To God be the glory to you.
I did it for weeks at a time, bro. And what happens is they call it charging your system. So every once in a while, they give you a break. They be like, yo, listen, we're going to give you a month off. But then now if you take the month off, you could take the month off, but now they got to recharge your system again. So now you got to do 6 weeks straight. 6 weeks straight of this Monday chemo, the week, and then Monday again. After the 6 weeks, then they'll say, all right, now we could do Monday, and then you could skip a week in between, and then so it's every other week. So that's what the process was like, but
you never stop fighting this process. And that comes from that spirit that your parents been hovering.
Yeah, I mean,
for years and decades. Because I seen the videos, Pops was there.
Yeah, my pops never missed a day at the hospital. When I was in the hospital from November to February, he never missed a day. He was there every single day. And
praying, interceding.
Yeah.
Mom's is a prayer warrior, so she's praying, interceding. The church is interceding.
And be clear, moms was there, Dee Dee was there, you know what I'm saying? But they also had to make sure the household was good.
Right, because it's still life. There's still life going on.
Still got to make sure everything's good. So they was like really, Dee Dee was like, yo, Dee Dee's a champion, bro. Like, I call her the family manager because like she keep everybody in line. But Dee Dee, what people don't understand is Dee Dee took my what's name and like she took lead on my doctors. I couldn't speak for myself. So Dee Dee took charge of all of that stuff. Dee Dee was filling out paperwork. Dee Dee was talking to doctors. Dee Dee still had a job and still had a baby and, everything she was dealing with. She has her own household to manage and everything. And Dee Dee took lead on everything. So she be on conference calls with her job because she got an amazing job. I think she was at Hot 97 at the time. She's at iHeartRadio now, but Didi was doing that, and then she on conference calls with my doctors, all on the same day. So Didi,
Lois Lane.
yeah,
Clark
Didi-
Kent and Lois Lane, you know what I mean?
Didi jumped in, and like, I wouldn't be here without Didi for sure.
But you'd have did the same for Didi too.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Indeed.
nothing like, because it's just y'all two, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And that's how it is with
absolutely.
me and my sister.
Absolutely.
It's
Would've
just me and
jumped
her,
in
you know what I
and
mean?
did
Might be a
whatever.
pain in the ass sometimes, but you know, I'm gonna fly through that curtain.
I just was talking to somebody about that with Didi. Yo, me and Didi would curse each other out on the way here, and walk in here like you wouldn't even know. Like,
Yo, okay, all right, Wonder Twins deactivate. You know what I'm saying? Wonder Twin, you get that.
we have our moment real quick, and we get right back to it, man. Cause we all we got, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, what
So-
made you document that? I always, you know what I mean? I was curious to always, you know what I mean? Because let's be clear, I know you didn't do it for IG. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't done. But I was just curious to say, yo, why did Ron do this? And then I look back on it, I said, yo, I probably would have wanted to do it too. Because when I get these little fake rough days, let me go look at this shit real quick. I came through the storm.
I'm gonna tell you what one of the main things was that
And the courage to do it. To let people see that.
I'm gonna keep it funky. It was kind of like an out of body experience. It was like, this is bigger than me, and I kind of just gotta. This is something that I feel necessary. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause black people get misdiagnosed all the time, and without, the amount of people that popped up and was like, yo, I got a thing with my skin. What test did you ask for? Like, what test should I ask for? Because the main thing about treating something is being properly diagnosed. If you telling me I got eczema and you treat me for eczema, it's not getting better because you treat me for eczema. I don't have eczema, I have cancer.
It's a whole nother situation.
So you treat me for the wrong thing for years. And this thing was just progressively getting worse. So
And you not knowing this.
nah. And if you look at data, right, and you look at research, it'll tell you black people don't get this disease. I don't think that's the case. I think black people get it, but they just not diagnosed the right way. So it was important for me to be
Put it out
visible
there.
with this, so people could see, like, yo, this is what it looks like.
Especially our age group, even though I'm older than you, our community, our younger
absolutely,
generation.
Absolutely, because research will tell you it's an older white man's disease, and they don't get it until they're 60.
A lot of brothers ain't going to the doctor either.
That too.
Get something, oh man, that ain't nothing.
That ain't nothing.
Let me just put what my aunt told me to put on there, or let me, yo, my shorty. And it's bigger because we afraid to go in there.
You are not lying. It's very important for us to go to the doctor, get properly diagnosed, address these things
Immediately.
so they don't sneak up on us, man. You know, we talk about our circle. A lot of our friends pass away, and I never thought they would ever pass away. While we was running around and everything, I thought we would see forever. But a lot of them passed away, and for men to pass away under 55, like, that's young still. You know what I'm saying?
Especially brothers that wasn't even smoking or drinking.
Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. I never even thought that we would be here without so many people. But at the same time, it's important to make sure we're going to the doctor. Make sure we're being tested for everything. For everything. Don't be afraid to find out what you got. Find out what you got so you can treat
Get
it.
right.
Yeah.
Stop waiting till we on the last limb.
Yeah, because everything is not a death sentence. When you hear certain things, oh, he got this, he got that. Yo, sometimes that in your mind, you be like, oh man, I'm on my way out.
I'm done, I'm
It
cooked.
doesn't have to be that though. As long as you catch it early enough, you could treat it. You know
And
what
when
I'm
you
saying?
do treat it, stay with it.
Stay with it.
Like let's not just get better and just forget what we just went through, because we do that in life in general.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I'm saying? We get comfortable. Oh, I'm straight. I ain't gotta keep taking that.
Yeah.
Yo, if they telling you to take, or if you find another way to do it, that's still helping your case, then do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, when I saw it, it's like I'm watching the journey, and it's like, yo, man. First and foremost, I say, yo, this dude is incredible, man, because he's here, and stuff like that. You don't forget. You know, I told somebody the other day. I said, yo, listen, you can be here today and out of here in an hour. And I said, yo, you know, I was actually telling Shamik that, you know what I mean, my son.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, so when I, you know, always, you know, I was telling them, hit up your grandfather, you know what I mean? You know, I always tell the kids, you spoke to your grandfather, you know what I mean? He's in the South, hit him up. And he was like, yeah, Dad, I forgot I got caught up. I said, it happens. I said, but yo, listen, man, we get caught up, and sometimes it ain't gonna happen again. It's important to just be grateful and thankful, and always don't take none of this shit for granted, because yo, it's to be here for the WAP thing. I'm gonna be honest, and I can say this to you and on camera that I never said. Yo, I'm still affected by that.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I'm still emotionally. The other day I was at work, literally bawling in the truck, crying, man, because yo, I spoke to this kid every day, 5 times a day, bro. We were together.
Didn't see one without the other.
Right. You know, if WAP didn't go somewhere, I may not go. You know what I mean? WAP ain't, you know, and that's not, I gotta understand, that's how we move. Yo, we not just going out with anybody. We not derailing what we talking about. We need everything has an understanding.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just, yo, he might have been dealing with something, yo, that I ain't know.
Right.
And maybe I could have, you know what I mean? I think about that too.
Yeah.
I think about, damn, why we ain't talk? You know what I mean? The last time I saw him was outside at the Hush.
Right.
Gave him a pound. He hopped out on me on the stupid, and my man Rob caught that video.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that goes another thing. A person in our inner circle caught that moment. Because yo, that moment ain't going. I never get that moment again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yo,
Super important
that fight, man, that fight, bro, to see you in the documented, to help with the culture, to let us see, like, yo, bro, bro, I'm fighting. You know what I mean? Bro, man,
it was
God, man.
so it worked. It worked because it worked in my favor, because it allowed the community to rally around me and uplift me, and support me and be there for me and encourage me and pray for me. All the things, man. Like,
how many times did you give up?
How many times did I give up in my head? You know what? It's crazy you said that. Quite a few. Quite a few, because it'll push you to that. It'll push you to that.
Brother.
I probably never said that ever in my life. I never told nobody that, but I definitely had a few times where I was like, yo, can't do it. I was like, you know, I gave it the best I could. Whatever happens, happens. But again, the family, my daughter, you know, yo, it'd be times I'd be walking the shop right. It'd be one of them days I'd be like, yo, this is it, man. Whatever happens, happens. I walk in the shop right and somebody be like, oh my God, I'm praying for you. Ron,
that little bit.
You're encouraging me. Thank you so much for being transparent and vulnerable. And I'd be like, purpose is bigger than me. Gotta tough it out. So look, this is what I learned about that whole journey. Within the journey, you may have days where you're weak and you feel like, yo, I can't do it, whatever. And you're entitled to those days, right? You may have a weak moment, right? But have that moment and then brush yourself off, get back up and get back in the fight. Gotta get back in the fight, man. I say that to anybody, man. If anybody's watching who may have a tough health thing or whatever you're fighting through,
right?
whatever you're fighting through, because it's not always about health. It could be finances, it could be relationships, it could be whatever. Have your tough moment, have your tough day, and then get back up and get in the fight. Keep fighting. You gotta keep fighting. Gotta keep fighting. Gotta keep fighting.
Yo, you said something, man, that was so powerful on another brother's. You spoke with my man, Tim.
Tim,
And you
that's my
said,
guy.
shout out to him. We just did a great sit down.
Yeah, I saw that. That's my guy.
You said, your father said, yo, what you gonna do? You gonna get up?
Listen, man.
What you going, like, yo, and I just, me knowing your father, when you said that, I heard him. I heard your father when you said it. You know what I'm saying?
People
like,
that know, they know. Yeah,
like
for
what
sure.
what you gonna do?
He like,
I'm
yo,
coming here every day. What you gonna do?
My pops, I guess in his mind, he like, yo, man, I'm here every day. I'm here every day. Be clear, he didn't have to be there every day. I think him being there every day was above and beyond.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So for him to be there every day, this dude was there reading his newspaper, reading his books, reading, you know what I'm saying?
Came prepared to sit.
He came there with a book bag every day. Came there with a backpack every single day. Came there knowing I'm gonna be here for hours with my son. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm cool with that.
I'm chilling. I'm here.
I'm gonna be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation.
Some doctors and some nurses believed he was my home health aide. That's how much he was there with me. They thought he was staff. They thought he was a hired person. That's how much he was there with me. They're like, yo, where's your nurse? My dad? Not a nurse. That's my father. Word. Yo, I was in. I told on Tim's podcast. I had to learn how to walk again. And
that was my next question.
Yeah, I had to learn how to walk again. And learning how to walk. If you're in the bed for a certain amount of time, something happens in your brain where it's like your brain doesn't calculate how to make your legs move. You have to learn how to walk again. Especially when you're in the bed for a long time, you're heavily medicated, you're sedated at times. I had times where
your weight is done dropped tremendously.
I was probably 120, 130, something like that around that time. And it's coming down from like 250, you know what I'm saying? So I was in the bed, I lost my function of learning how to walk, knowing how to walk. And I had to relearn. And I was like, yo.
Another hurdle. When it's like, that's what I'm saying. Your mind has to be like, yo, when does this?
I'm like, I gotta learn how to walk again. So, is that a time when?
Are you questioning God at any point?
No.
Praise God.
No.
I'm glad to hear that. I swear I'm glad.
No.
Because I don't question him about anything.
Nah.
I just say, you know what?
No.
Trust your will.
Yo, that's crazy. That never crossed my mind ever. I never questioned God. I have moments of like I don't understand what's happening for sure.
Of course, you may say why. I mean, shit, we're human.
But
especially your life.
I'm like
your life that we, you know what I mean. Your life
it was never a matter of not trusting whatever was gonna happen. It was never that. Yeah, so I'm like, I was in the bed, I couldn't walk. And I had to relearn how to walk. And there was a very nice therapist lady that would come in there every day and say, hey, Mr. Faison, it's time to get up. I give an attitude or whatever. My pops let me get it off for a couple of days, but after a while, he was like, what's happening? What you gonna do? He said, listen, man, you either, you could lay here and die or you can get up. You could lay here and die or you can get up. I was like, oh, shoot. It was like a light bulb. And I started to get up. Started to get up slowly but surely. I'm not gonna give the long version of that, but yeah, I started to get up slowly, and sure enough, step by step, Very slow process, but I learned in those moments, slow steps is better than no steps, man. And before you know it, as long as you're taking the slow steps, your goal,
You're gonna eventually run.
you're gonna eventually get to your goal, bro. Like if your goal is to run, if you start stepping, all right, it might be one step today, or it might be three today, which is nothing because we take thousands of steps a day. But for some people, that's where they at. They taking three. Got to take your three, and
You just gotta take the steps.
and push for four tomorrow.
Exactly. Or at least just push to get it, man.
Word.
Get it going, bro.
Word.
Yo, you know, I'm gonna say this, man. To God be the glory, sitting next to my brother right now. And y'all that know him and follow the God, man, yo, you saw the journey. And for me to sit next to him right now, I'm honored, bro. And I'm blessed, and I draw strength from you. And I'm so thankful to have you, man.
Appreciate
Not
that,
just
bro.
be on this couch with me, bro, but to be out here in this world, bro.
Yeah.
It's bigger than this pod. Like I said, bro, we got close in '01 when I came home, bro, and we never looked back. And to see you go through that, man, that broke me. And I never told nobody this but Coley. I said, yo, B, I would be so crushed, man, if, our young boy UConn ain't make it out of here. Coley said, yo, bro, my love for UConn, I feel like that's my little brother.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
that's when we came out to your party. I said, Coley don't like to come out.
Yeah, word.
He said, yo, when Ron get home, we going to everything he throwing. You know what I'm saying? And Coley ain't coming out. He don't care. I ain't doing this nigga shit. But you know what I'm saying?
Tell Coley he putting on a suit too.
Yeah.
Man. In January, I need all my guys with me, man.
You know what I mean? So
Word.
that right there, man,
Word. Yeah.
It's an honor. You know what I mean? And it's a blessing, and it's all about God's timing, man. It was, we sat down at the perfect time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
The perfect time, man. And what's the future, man? You know what I mean? What we got in works, man. You know what I mean? Let the culture know. We want to, I asked you, when's that all-white historical party?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? And I need that picture of y'all, all of y'all in that pic, man. I got to put that on the T-shirt, man, for the all-white party, because that picture is the most mine. You from my era. You know certain pictures we saw back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, I remember.
Yeah.
Yo, that moment, like, you will never get that moment back, bro.
Word.
But that's the picture that represents that night, that party. I don't care what nobody else can post. If you wasn't in that picture and you don't have it, that's when is the next iconic white, man?
So we're gonna do all white again this year for my birthday coming in June.
Okay.
So we got some time for that.
Okay.
I got my hands in a few things, man. I'm at the finish line on a couple of things that I've been. So after being sick and after being in a space of feeling like I couldn't forecast, like I couldn't see ahead because I didn't know how I was gonna feel. So if I got chemo today, it's hard to plan what I'm gonna do in a month.
Okay.
Now that I'm in a space of being able to forecast and to like really get back to work, I'm nearing the end of some of the projects that I've been working on for some time. There's a dispensary on the way.
Okay.
Can't give too much.
Nah, you gave enough.
There's a dispensary on the way, early next year, early this coming year, 2026, right? I am personally right now currently working on the Boys Mind Tour.
Okay.
That starts October 16.
Brandy and Monica, shout out to them.
Brandy and Monica tour. That's my next big tour, next big thing.
You hitting every city with them?
Yeah, so that's I'm the production coordinator for that tour. So that the Black Hollywood Gala, January 17th, 2026. That's a Saturday. That's MLK weekend. Me and Lenny are working on something for Jersey that should happen in November.
Okay.
I'm trying to be careful with my words. I don't want to.
Yeah, please. We don't want to get caught up in the hype.
Yeah, I need to.
Well, you said,
right. Yeah.
you said,
Right. I'm gonna
that's
tell
what you
y'all.
took from the podcast.
Yeah.
That one moment.
Yeah, right. And that's exactly how it goes, man. People are crazy. But yeah, so dispensary, Black Hollywood Gala, the Boys Mind Tour. What else?
White.
The white. We definitely listen. All right. What y'all don't know is, so when, like I said earlier, being heavily medicated, everything, I wanted to challenge my mind because my mind, I felt like I was diminishing kind of. I was kind of like being set back on how I was thinking and how I was able to do things. So I went to school. I'm in college myself. I graduate in March of 2026. So when we do the all white party this year, we're gonna celebrate my graduation as well.
Woo.
We're going back to all white in a way that we haven't done ever before. I promise you that. So stay tuned for that. The gala in January is so important to me. It's important that all of us get dressed up, suited and booted, fly, however you do it, you know what I'm saying? Think of like the Black Grammys or the Oscars or the BET Awards when they dress up. Not the hip hop awards, the actual BET Awards where everybody's dressed up. Think of that. There's gonna be live music there. You know, I want to merge my elements. So my musician side, my party side, my philanthropist side. You know what I'm saying? I want to merge my live music with my parties, with the things that I want to do to empower the community, right? Those three things are what the Black Hollywood Gala is. And those things, that's going to be fire. Promise you that. If you've been to Black Hollywood Gala before, this year's going to be something you've never seen before already. Always remember, I'm going to take it up.
To the next level.
I'm going to take it up every time. So that's where we're going with the Black Hollywood Gala. Stay tuned for the dispensary announcement that's coming soon. Stay tuned for honoree announcements. I got them locked in. That's coming soon. I ain't got no tickets for the Boys Mind Tour. Don't hit me for no tickets.
Well, you said. You know what I mean?
Hear me clearly. I have no tickets.
No tickets. No tickets.
I had no tickets. I got a ticket for the Round Table podcast for my brother Shao, but
man, I appreciate it.
I ain't got no tickets for nobody else. All right, so don't hit me for no tickets. Sorry, it's just not my department this time. I'm not on the promoter side. The promoter side, if I was the promoter, I would be able to
bless the culture a little bit.
But I can't do that. But I'm back to work. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. You know what we should do one day, man? We should have a day of talking about some of our old times, like some of the stuff we went through. That's what we should do.
We need to.
We should schedule some time for that because I feel like I said before, a lot of the young kids can learn the good and the bad.
Facts.
Because we ain't always been these guys right here.
Right.
We made mistakes too. It's important for us to be transparent so people can learn from our mistakes and they can see how good they can learn. You know, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room ever.
Sure.
I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room.
And we're not going to be the dumbest either.
Not going to be the dumbest, never. But I don't want to be the smartest because I need to learn. I'm still learning. I still want to grow. In order for me to grow and to teach the people under me and younger than me, the only way to teach them is if I have something to teach them about. I got to be exposed to stuff myself. Once I'm exposed to stuff, then I could teach them stuff too. So yeah, we need to spend some time talking about our experiences so that we can teach some of these youngins about some
I'm all
stuff.
for it. I'm all for it. And if you
Not just me, there's some other people though that you can have conversations with for sure that got some stuff that they could teach.
honestly speaking, I want to have a group of us
That's fire.
just chop it up.
That's fire.
You know what I mean? I'm just, you know what I mean, getting everybody on the same page, getting the timing. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to just put it with anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's certain brothers, I'm not gonna say name, can't get on camera. That I need
Right.
to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Because you know what I mean? And you already know.
Yeah.
So shout out to the team and the family, man. And
Yeah.
we definitely, I want to do that, bro. And listen, man, we just put our heads together.
Yeah, however I can help, man.
You know what I
take
mean?
the lead on it. However I can help.
Yeah,
This
no
is
doubt.
your world.
Yeah.
This ain't my world.
Listen, man, I'm just here, man. And I'm blessed to be here, man. Yo, you know what it is, man. It's the voice of the culture, man. Today was, man, it was a blessing, man. I'm sitting next to my hero. And I say that respectfully. It don't matter your age. It's respect for who you are, what you do, and what you bring to the table, but also the love and the respect and the honor and the loyalty, man, is always there. It never faded. It's never withered. It's never gonna dry. It's never gonna die out. Just because we ain't together every day or on the phone, you know, my man, like my man said, if I'm gonna go old school, at the drop of a dime,
No doubt.
it's like throwing up a back signal. Yo, hold.
Word.
You know what I mean?
That's
that signal came out,
That's
not the
mutual
other
love,
signal.
Mutual love and respect.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is, man. And our fallen soldiers, we love you. And we miss you, you know what I mean? Because, man, if we could just tell y'all, it's some brothers that if we can have those brothers sit down, that would be the most iconic episode ever on these streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we gonna keep it going for them, you know what I mean? And much love to Chuck, we love you. T.O., we love you. Uncle B, WAP. If I'm missing anybody, we love you. But we just talking about the core people that meant so much to us. And it's the voice of the culture, man. The Black Ferris Bueller, man. The round table. It's the hush. We out of here. My man Ron. One.